Hi guys, welcome back to the news. A former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Comrade Timi Frank, has said the quest by President Bola Tinubu to be recognized in the Guinness Book of Records over reforms initiated by him since assumption of office was a misplaced venture. Yes, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while addressing an audience at the 10th German Nigerian Business Forum in Germany, said Nigeria voted for him for reforms, and from day one of his inauguration, he stated the reforms that at this point, if his name is not in the Guinness Book of Records, then he would strive to find a way to insert himself in the Guinness Book of Records. And he actually did so without expectation. But Timi Frank said that statement issued by Tinubu that insisted that his name should be on the Guinness Book of Records has only inflicted severe and economic and unbearable hardship on the people. He added that even though the president claimed he was in Germany to woo investors, none of them will be willing to invest in a country because of the negative world records he had already allegedly set. Timi Frank wondered why Tinubu was, blandishing removal of fuel subsidy on inauguration day as evidence that he hit the ground running. He stressed the president failed to realize that that singular action had hit the average Nigerian with attendant pains, tears, and suffering. Frank pointed out that the purported reforms had wrecked the nation's currency, with $1 now exchanging for over 1,000. Now, foreign investors would definitely not go into a country with a flawed electoral process or where the judiciary cannot be trusted or guaranteed to guarantee justice to protect their investment. He stressed that President Tinubu claimed that he had removed fuel subsidy, but the fuel is still being subsidized by his administration, even though the people now languish under the burden of the increase in the pump price of fuel and other essential petroleum products. And here we have it, my country people. Tinubu had said in fact, his name should be on the Guinness Book of Records, but I can tell you Nigerians would always be Nigerians. People have reacted that a certificate forger who has rigged the election. In fact, Tinubu's name should be on the Guinness Book of Records because he has definitely done well by swaying the INEC, the judiciary. In fact, he has tinted the image of this nation. He has, done a lot of things that in fact, no person has done just because he wants to get power. So, my country people, what are your thoughts on this? Well, Tinubu, as the president, saying his name should be on the Guinness Book of Records because of the reforms he has made. Well, my country people, we have actually seen the reforms the president has made in this country, and it is definitely not a pleasant reform. Right from the first day he emerged as the president, the reforms actually wasn't favorable. Talking about the removal of the fuel subsidy, how it led to inflation, increased prices of goods and services, led to intense and increased poverty in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, they resulted to bringing palliative, which did not even get to the hands of every Nigerian in this country. But at the end of the day, people are still pushing. Nigerians are still surviving. Even with all this economic hardship, even with the things that we are facing, the challenges, the suffering, Nigerians are still pushing. So I guess Nigerians ought to be the ones that should brag about being on the Guinness Book of Record because we have indeed suffered a lot. We have really suffered in this country called Nigeria. I mean, you can see that the previous administration, when Buhari handed over power to Tinubu, people were going on Twitter, people were going on social media, issuing certificates of survival to themselves because they felt, oh, for them to have survived the administration of Buhari, they can survive anything. So Nigerians are like the strongest people in the world because the things we have survived in this nation, I mean, it is likely other nations, other people can, eventually survive what we are surviving currently. So I can say that Nigerians ought to, have their names in the Guinness Book of Records. The reverse is the case. Tinubu saying his name should be on the Guinness Book of Records is actually a misplaced priority. That shouldn't be what the president ought to have said at this point in time, because his administration has not even gotten to 1 year and Tinubu is already bragging and boasting of reforms. Now, talking about the reforms, what reforms are we even seeing? All what the people are seeing currently is suffering and hardship pains. So it's actually a misplaced priority, because instead of things to move from the better for the better, things are actually going from worse to worse, and it's getting worse. So people are really complaining, and the president is saying his name should be in the book of Guinness record. Indeed, my country people. Well, guys, what are your thoughts on this very issue? I mean, people are struggling to survive in this nation. All the president has to say is that his name should be in the book of Guinness record because he has done so well for this country. Barely 1 year of his administration. Well, I think it is really not fair for the people of this great nation for the president to make, such a wonderful statement, which the president ought to have focused on improving on the welfare of Nigerians instead of bragging about his name being on the Guinness Book of Record. Because definitely, if a president is doing well, certainly your name would appear on that Guinness Book of Records without any stress. There must be something tangible. There must be something unique about a particular person for that person's name to appear on the Guinness Book of Records, something that has never been done. Well, my country people, I won't say much because it gets as this matter they be. So guys, make una come chook mouth for this matter. True, una feel say normally Tinubu name suppose dey inside Guinness Book of Record based on say he don't do so many things. Yes, Tinubu even bragged that Lagos today being the center hub, that's the center of commercial hub in Nigeria, and also the fastest growing city in Africa. He made such a boast that it was because of him that Lagos is where it is today, because when he was the governor, he made sure that he puts Lagos in a better place in terms of commercial activities. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section.